6 p.m. Assalamu alaikum. This is Radio Pakistan. The news read by Daman Zaman. The headlines. The Supreme Court has granted 6 months extension in the tenure of the Chief of the Army Staff. The Prime Minister has directed to frame a long-term policy regarding demand and supply of essential commodities, fixation of prices and reducing input costs of the farmers. The Foreign Minister has expressed commitment to develop a strong relationship with the African countries. The Chairman, American Joint Chiefs of Staff, says chances of successful outcome from peace talks to end the Afghan war is higher than before. In Iraq, 13 people were killed in the southern city of Nasiriyah today. The second cricket test match between Pakistan and Australia will be played in Adelaide from tomorrow. And now the news in detail. The Supreme Court has granted 6 months extension in the tenure of the Army Chief General Qamar Javed Bajwa. The court, in its short order, declared that the Parliament will legislate on the extension or reappointment of an Army Chief in 6 months' time. A three-member bench headed by the Chief Justice of Pakistan, Mr. Justice Asif Saeed Khosa, announced the verdict. Prime Minister Imran Khan has said today must be a great disappointment to those who expected the country to be destabilized by a clash of institutions. In a tweet, he said this did not happen, must be of special disappointment to our external enemies and mafias within, who have stashed their loot abroad and sought to protect this loot by destabilizing the country. Imran Khan said Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf was the first party to advocate an independent judiciary and rule of law 23 years ago. In 2007, the party was in the forefront of the movement for the independence of the judiciary, and he was jailed for it. Imran Khan also said he has the greatest respect for the Chief Justice, Mr. Justice Asif Saeed Khosa, who is one of the greatest jurists produced by Pakistan. Prime Minister Imran Khan has directed that a long-term policy be framed regarding demand and supply of essential commodities, fixation of prices, reducing input costs of farmers, and provision of conducive environment to them. He gave the directions while chairing a meeting regarding fixation of sugarcane price in Islamabad today. The Prime Minister directed the policy is aimed at reducing input costs of the farmers and should be framed on priority basis. Imran Khan also directed the Competitive Commission to review the relevant laws and amendments being introduced to ensure stability in prices of essential commodities. He stressed that latest technology should be used for the purpose. Prime Minister Imran Khan has said the government is fully committed to combat the issue of malnutrition in Pakistan. He was talking to Princess Sarah Zayed of Jordan and World Food Programme Special Advisor on Mother and Child Nutrition, who called on him in Islamabad today. The Prime Minister mentioned that in his very first address to the nation, he committed to addressing the severest form of malnutrition, including prevalence of stunted growth in children in the country, as a matter of priority for his government. Princess Sarah Zayed of Jordan briefed the Prime Minister on her engagements in Pakistan during the visit and expressed appreciation for Pakistan's efforts, including prioritization of mother and child nutrition. The Jordanian princess also appreciated the leadership of Prime Minister on the issue of stunting and malnutrition, describing it as an inspirational and critically important. The Foreign Minister Shah Mahmood Qureshi has expressed the commitment to develop a strong relationship with the African countries. Addressing the Envoys Conference titled Engage Africa in Islamabad today, he said the Foreign Office will fully facilitate and cooperate with the Commerce Ministry to achieve the objective. Alluding to the improvement in the country's economic indicators, the Foreign Minister said economic diplomacy is important for socio-economic development of Pakistan. He reiterated that foreign policy can also become effective and meaningful if the country is economically strong. Speaking on the occasion, the advisor on commerce, Razak Daud, said our vision is to double trade with the African countries in the next 5 years, which currently hovers between $3 and $4 billion. He said Pakistan's exports to Africa has risen to over $1 billion. He said our locally manufactured tractors are making their way in several African countries, including Mozambique and Angola. This is Radio Pakistan. The Chairman, Federal Board of Revenue, Syed Jabbar Zaidi, has directed to publish customs valuation rulings on FBR website for easy access to the general public. According to a press release, the instructions have been issued to further promote transparency and ease of doing business. The chairman also requested the business community to assist the Federal Board of Revenue in identifying cases of undervaluation so that remedial action should be taken. Member National Assembly Rana Tanveer Hussain has been elected unanimously as the new chairman of the Public Accounts Committee. He was elected in a joint meeting of the members from the opposition and the ruling party in the Parliament House. A delegation of defense attaché and diplomatic staff of 16 countries called on the Governor Sindh Imran Ismail in Karachi today. Speaking on the occasion, the governor said successful diplomacy helps to ensure protection of mutual interest, and Pakistan has the desire to enhance economic cooperation with many countries, including regional countries. He said every sector of the economy is flourishing due to the prudent policies of the government, and a new era of prosperity is about to begin due to developmental projects of China-Pakistan Economic Corridor. Later, the delegation visited the room and antiques used by the founder of the nation, Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah. The delegation included diplomats from the United States, Canada, the Czech Republic, Bangladesh, Germany, Italy, Indonesia, Japan, Jordan, Malaysia, Myanmar, Poland, Saudi Arabia, Sudan, Thailand, and Egypt. At the United Nations, Pakistan has expressed the hope that the resumption of direct talks between the United States and the Taliban would lead to a peaceful settlement in Afghanistan. Permanent representative of Pakistan to the United Nations, Munir Akram, was speaking in the UN General Assembly's debate on the situation in Afghanistan. The ambassador said Pakistan supports Afghanistan's vital pursuit of peace and stability. Chairman, U.S. Joint Chiefs of Staff Mark Milley has said chances of a successful outcome of peace talks to end the Afghan war is higher than before. Talking to reporters in Kabul, he said no decision has been made by the United States yet on troops reduction, and there are several options, including going down to 8,600. China has firmly opposed the United States signing of the so-called Hong Kong Human Rights and Democracy Act of 2019 into law. In a statement, the Chinese Foreign Ministry said the move is a severe interference in Hong Kong's affairs, which are China's internal affairs, and it is also a serious violation of the international law and basic norms governing international relations. Iran has rejected comments that it is seriously considering triggering a mechanism with a nuclear deal that could lead to United Nations sanctions. According to the state television of Iran, spokesman of the foreign ministry, Abbas Mousavi, termed the comments by France as irresponsible and not constructive. And now cricket. The second cricket test match between Pakistan and Australia will be played in Adelaide from tomorrow. Australia lead the two-match series 1-0. And finally, the weather. Mainly dry weather is expected in most parts of the country, while cold conditions will prevail in the northern areas during the next 24 hours. However, fog is likely to prevail in the plain areas of the Punjab and Upper Sindh. To end the news, here once again are some of the headlines. The Supreme Court has granted 6 months extension in the tenure of Chief of the Army Staff. The Prime Minister has directed to frame a long-term policy regarding demand and supply of essential commodities, fixation of prices, and reducing input costs of farmers. The Foreign Minister has expressed commitment to develop a strong relationship with the African countries. Those were some of the headlines, and that is the end of this news bulletin. For more news and analyses, log on to our website, radio.gov.pk, and you can also watch the live video streaming of our bulletins on the link, facebook.com/Radio Pakistan News Official.